I did an episode some 1 month ago on Botswana and their elections on 30th of October. I predicted how what happened in South Africa could happen in Botswana. The main political party in South Africa, the ANC, lost majority vote and had to go into power sharing with two other smaller parties. Ladies and gentlemen, and guess what has happened in Botswana? Botswana elections are over, and for the first time since their independence, the main political party that has been in power ever since has lost the elections. President Masisi of the Botswana Democratic Party has lost the elections to Duma Boko of the Umbrella for Democratic Change. The Umbrella Party won in a landslide with 35 seats in their National Assembly. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an African country that's arguably the best run, and yet their incumbent lost. What does that mean for countries in West Africa and for the upcoming elections in Namibia on the 27th of November this year, which is a little over 2 weeks from today? Same situation happening in Namibia since independence. The Southwest Africa People's Party, also known as SWAPO, has won every Namibian election. But recently, the gap started closing. The main opposition party, called the Popular Democratic Movement, led by McHenry Vibani, has won 16 National Assembly seats so far going into this election. The same wind that swept over Botswana appears to be rising over Namibia. This 27th November could see a first-time change ever since their independence in their presidential election. Let me know from you in Namibia if you are rooting for change or retaining the existing order. And kudos to Botswana for a free and fair elections and a smooth handover. If Namibia's election eludes the incumbent government, then ladies and gentlemen, Ghana should be getting ready. This change could as well be our portion, because 10 days after Namibia's election is Ghana's own elections. Since 1992, two political parties have been toying with our resources and our economy. Our national debt is constantly on the rise, and many young people are without hope in this country. Could this be a deciding moment for Ghana as well? Could Ghana also experience this shock of an election where the two main parties will be ditched for a new? Let me tell you how this change has been made possible in not just South Africa and Botswana's election, but even in the elections of the United States of America. It has to do with the element of social media. I listened to Van Jones of CNN after Trump won the elections in America. In his commentary as to why the Democratic Party lost the election, he said, and I'm paraphrasing, the Democrats depended too much on the traditional media for their campaign, whereas the Republicans, led by Trump, were everywhere on different social media platforms like Joe Rogan, like PBD Podcast, 6 Feet Under Podcast, on Flagrant by comedian Andrew Schultz, the Barstool Podcast, Adin Ross, and Lex Friedman. They were all over social media answering pertinent questions that matter to the American people. This strategy has proven to give Trump over 4 million votes difference, making him win the college votes, the popular votes, House and Senate. Ladies and gentlemen, it is obvious that this is where the traffic is right now. This is where people are watching. Joe Rogan Experience alone got 37 million views in less than 2 weeks. That's 37 million eyeballs. TikTok, YouTube, and X are going to replace traditional media very, very soon. And for that reason, everything in terms of reaching people is possible, no matter where and when. This is the first time Ghana is going to really experiment and experience elections that's pretty much powered by social media, particularly by TikTok and YouTube. We have two main political parties contending, but there is one, an underdog, who might either become the kingmaker or possibly win it all. A survey I conducted in the street of Accra made me confident of the fact that social media is indeed pushing his popularity, because it is almost impossible to see any type of advertisement or videos of this independent candidate on any of our national TV stations. They don't show him on his nationwide tour and his campaigns. They don't talk about him in their political programs, and they never discuss him on radio, ladies and gentlemen. But yet, in my survey, which you can watch on my YouTube channel, I interviewed 1,000 random people on the streets, asking them one simple question: who are you voting for? And I was blown away to know that 150 out of the 1,000 registered voters said emphatically that they are voting for Nana Kwame Bediako of the New Force movement in Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, when you underestimate social media, you do it at your own peril. The true facts of the news are no more provided us in the traditional medias like it used to be in the past, simply because the media companies are owned by politicians whose agenda is skewed towards projecting a certain narrative to maintain the status quo for their continuous control and sustenance. But people are beginning to wake up and demand answers, which the establishment aren't providing. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 26 days to Ghana's general elections, and if the new kid on the block is listening, it's time to set his machinery rolling on social media platforms. It's time he unveils all the masked personalities behind him and send them out on different platforms for the final breakdown of his policies. These last days will count so much for the effort he has invested in so far. He cannot do it alone and doesn't need all the core team with him everywhere he goes. He needs to spread out and get his message across like Trump did. Mali, Senegal, Burkina Faso are changing because of having a totally new person in leadership, and Ghana shouldn't be left behind. Ladies and gentlemen, we started this whole independence thing in 1957, and we can surely do it again. This time, not for political independence only, but for both political and economic independence. I wish the people of Namibia all the best in their upcoming elections. And thanks for taking time to watch today's episode. Be kind to subscribe and click on the notification bell for more of my content. I'll come your way again with another one. Until then, God bless you, and it's bye-bye for now.